What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and welcome back to FudgeMuppet, or if you're new, welcome to FudgeMuppet. Today we are looking at Mass Effect Andromeda, in particular the engineer build, the best engineer build that you can make for tech constructs specifically. Now, we are doing a bunch of these Andromeda builds. If you're interested and you haven't subscribed already, I strongly recommend you do it. We've already done the Vanguard, the Infiltrator, and we've got more to come in the future. Now, as you'd assume, this build is highly invested in the tech tree, and it really looks and feels like it too. So if you want to copy this paint design, then be sure, go ahead and do it. It's really cool. You sort of seem like some kind of Bumblebee Transformers thing. That's the kind of vibe you have going on, and overall with tech weapons, it's really, really fun. But anyway, let's get into the skill side of things. You have Overload, Incinerate, and Cryo Beam as a potential really cool engineer loadout that I would recommend you use if you're not going to use the build I'm going to now show you. But for this build, we're going to be using Overload, Assault Turret, and Remnant VI. Now, the reason we want to use this loadout is because what does an engineer do? At the base value of it all, an engineer builds stuff. If you look at the bonuses, okay, you have 45% more all combo damage, 45% more tech construct health regeneration, and tech construct damage, and then also tech restoration and defense, and a combat drone which improves recharge rate for tech powers and self-destructs with an EMP pulse if enemies get too close. Now, I don't know if the combat drone counts as a tech construct itself, but if it does, it's actually going to make this build even more powerful because we pick perks which actually increase bonuses the more tech constructs we have. But anyway, let's get straight into these skills. So, the first skill we're going to look at is Assault Turret. At rank 1, you can deploy an automated assault turret that counts as a tech construct, of course, and then at rank 2, it gets more health, and rank 3, it gets more damage. As you can see, it hovers around, it shoots people, and you throw it. Don't throw it too close to enemies because some of them will take advantage of the setup, start shooting it, and it will die quickly. Make sure you place it strategically. Then at rank 4, you can choose between more turret health or recharge speed. My motto on this with tech constructs is don't worry about recharge speed as much when you're going through the skills for it, because you'd rather it be alive and not have to regenerate anyway. So what we get is more durability to be proactive instead of reactive. Now at rank 5, you can pick between more damage or the Omni-Link perk. Now damage isn't that bad. If you want to get damage, but I chose to get Omni-Link because what it actually does is repair the turret, which is always good because it can seem fragile at times. This just helps keep it alive, which is good. And then it also improves tech power refresh rates, which is going to be great for our Overload skill, which we're going to be using relatively often to detonate combos. Now at rank 6, we can pick between Cryo Ammo or Flamethrower. I've tested these both out. They're not bad, but I actually think Cryo Ammo is better just for the armor defense debuff of 100%. It also chills enemies, slows them down, weakens their armor, and can freeze them solid. And it also primes them for combo detonations. Both of these rank choices prime for detonations, which is great because we're using Overload and you're going to have a member on your team who primes enemies for detonation. You're actually going to have 6 members on your team, including yourself and the combat drone that spawns and follows you, because you have you, 2 squad mates, the combat drone, the assault turret, and Remnant VI. So that's just awesome, and we want our tech constructs to be priming our enemies for combo detonations so we can chuck an Overload on them and do heaps of damage. So with that done, let's move to Remnant VI, which you won't actually get until you help PB out with some stuff and she builds it for you. Before that, it's just going to say unknown skill. It's sort of cool when you unlock it. But anyway, at rank 1, you can deploy a retrofitted Remnant Observer that repairs itself over time, cloaks when critically damaged, and counts as a tech construct, as you'd expect. At rank 2, it gets more health, and at rank 3, you increase the beam damage. Now at rank 4, you can pick between expedited repairs or recharge speed. Again, I'd rather it be more alive and, you know, less dead and recharging. So this gives it 40% more health regen and 30% more health regen delay reduction. Then at rank 5, you can pick between the close combat module, which actually keeps it alive, but I'd say it's pretty sturdy already, or the focus module, which adds 30% beam damage. I strongly recommend getting this one because it's already sturdy enough from rank 2 and rank 4. Now at rank 6, you pick between detonating missiles and electric beam. Now when you look at these, you'll notice one of them primes enemies for combo detonations, and detonating missiles actually triggers the combo detonations. So if you want to get detonating missiles to use in combination with the cryo ammo, which primes from your other tech construct, and then this to detonate, you can. But what I actually prefer to do is to get electric beam. Now I've actually tested detonating missiles. It was my obvious first choice. I was like, holy shit, missiles, that's amazing. Like, who wouldn't want detonating missiles? But I actually found electric beam to be way more powerful in general. You get 25% more shield damage bonus, 15% more synthetic damage bonus, and you can stun enemies. But really, it just makes your tech construct, your remnant VI, more powerful. I've tested this. I can assure you that 90 missile damage isn't that much. Now what you have is 2 tech constructs who are priming your enemies, right? Then you have 2 squad members who can detonate that and also help prime, but we have overload, right? Now the way we've actually built overload is that we can reach out and hit multiple enemies at once. So you're going to have your tech constructs shooting everything, priming everything, and then you come and use a chain overload and everything explodes with combos, and everything dies, and ultimately that's what you want in Mass Effect when you're trying to defeat the Ket or some other kind of enemy. So at rank 1, you get overload. You can unleash an electrostatic discharge upon a target, high damage to shields and synthetic enemies, and it detonates combo primers. Now when you hold it, you can cause it to chain to 2 additional targets. At rank 2, you'll get better recharge speed. And by the way, this doesn't just damage shields, it just does damage in general as well as damaging shields. At rank 3, you get more damage. And then at rank 4, you'll have to choose between damage or recharge speed. Here is where I recommend going with damage, because you don't actually use overload all the time. You use it relatively enough, but often you can sort of just let your team do the work, use overload to detonate a bunch, spray with your gun, and then everyone's dead. And if not, it won't be long before you get overload back anyway, due to various skill choices we're going to be making. Anyway, rank 5, we get charged overload instead of anti-shield. One of the reasons is because we actually get the benefit of anti-shield in rank 6. We get 50% more damage versus shields. But what charged overload does is the chaining. You get to chain to another additional target when you charge this up, which is really good and ultimately what you want for the most devastation. So rank 6, you pick between maximum charge, which is just more damage, or EMP. I recommend EMP. Really focus on taking down those shields, because often that's what overload is going to be very helpful for, not just detonating. In terms of damage, you're already going to be doing plenty of it. So with that said, let's go into the passive skills. We'll go into team support. At rank 1, you get 40% more team shields. Rank 2, you get 40% more team shield delay reduction, team shield regeneration, and tech construct health regeneration, which is really good for keeping your tech constructs alive. Now at rank 3, you get support, which is just 40% more power restoration and defense. Then at rank 4, we pick between support or squad offense. I recommend getting squad offense. Reason being, again, more squad mate power damage, who are going to be assisting you majorly in this build, and more tech construct damage, who are also assisting you majorly with this build. Now at rank 4, you could have gotten support for power restoration and defense, but we already got 40% more of that, and this is just really where it's at. Anytime you can choose to increase tech construct anything, go with that. Now at rank 5, we can get team recovery, which gives you more team shield delay reduction, team shield regen, and tech construct health regeneration. Or you can get Tactical Revive, which is absolutely dog shit because reviving is not an integral part of the game and you should never waste a skill point on it. So we get Team Recovery and then we move on to rank 6. You can get Life Support or Defense Grid. Now, Life Support's actually pretty good. The improved health regeneration can be really helpful when you use a tech power, but I would rather get more damage resistance because we actually have all these tech constructs and this increase applies to them and also increases when you have a tech construct or a squad mate within 8 meters of you. So definitely get Defense Grid to buff up your character when you're surrounded by your team. Now let's move into offensive tech. At rank 1, we're going to have more tech power damage, 40% to be precise, which is quite a lot, a nice help to overload. Then at rank 2, better recharge speed for all of this. Again, this is why we don't necessarily need more recharge speed for overload because we get some here. Then at rank 3, we get tech detonated damage bonus. This just makes your overload bonus when you use it and detonate everything that everyone's helping to prime even more powerful. And then at rank 4, you can pick between anti-armor and anti-shield. Now, you actually have the cryo ammo of the assault turret helping out with armor, but it's still great to have even more bonus damage to armor. Anti-shield is great to get, but we already have overload. So in terms of shields, you're pretty much covered, and armored enemies like things like creatures and that tend to be more powerful, whereas shielded enemies, there are some, but they tend not to be. They tend to be more like your sharpshooter who has a shield, but then you just take it down with overload and they're all soft with their health bar and you kill them fairly quickly. So let's move on to rank 5. I reckon get detonators instead of anti-synthetics. We're already set up pretty well against synthetics, and hey, 30% more tech detonated damage bonus is insanely good because we're going to be detonating relatively often. So at rank 6, you can get elemental tech or technical rounds. Now, I strongly recommend getting elemental tech if you want to use the elemental loadout I talked about at the start, but otherwise we're going with technical rounds for more weapon damage bonus after using a tech power, which works great with our playstyle of summon everything, get everything primed, you can shoot in the meantime, use overload to detonate the targets that are primed, causing even more damage, and then because you just used a tech power, shoot them to death with your weapon, which will now have a damage bonus because of this skill choice. And finally, we have auxiliary systems. At rank 1, you'll get 40% more tech effect duration. At rank 2, 59% more tech force if you've invested as many points as we have. And at rank 3, more tech construct damage and more tech construct health. Again, super helpful, making them super powerful. So at rank 4, you can reduce weapon weight capacity, or you can get priming. I choose to get priming simply because you want things to get primed fast. When your assault turret is shooting at enemies, when your remnant VI is blasting enemies, you want them to get primed straight away so you don't have to wait around before throwing off your overload. Weapon mass reduction can be helpful, and I will say we are suffering from a minus 5% with our current loadout. However, that doesn't have to be the same for you because you can use lighter weapons or use mods or augmentations to reduce the weight, and it's really not worth picking this rank choice for weapon mass reduction over the priming, in my honest opinion. Now at rank 5, you can get enduring tech or impact dilation. Now I've selected enduring tech, but that was actually a mistake from a previous build that I was making for an engineer. You'll actually want to get impact dilation for this one because in regards to enduring tech, we don't really have stuff that relies on duration. Like if we were using incinerate, say, you'd have the lasting burning effect. I reckon enduring tech for the elemental setup, but for this one, get impact dilation so that overload will affect more people, and also so the area attacks of tech constructs affect more people. Not that they necessarily have a bunch of area effects, but it just seems to be better than enduring tech. This one doesn't actually affect tech constructs at all. Now at rank 6, you can get either shield feedback or omni vents. So with shield feedback, shield regen will begin immediately once you use a tech power, only functions once every 12 seconds, but with omni vents, it improves all recharge rates for currently recharging powers by 50% when a tech power is activated. Now, this is simply just helpful for when you want to use a tech power and then have other ones recharge faster. So if you use overload and your tech constructs were destroyed, they will come back faster. Or if you use overload and then use your tech constructs, which I recommend sometimes, then your overload will recharge faster, which is obviously a great thing to do. This build doesn't often find itself in situations where it's going to die, so I don't really know if you need shield regen, but if you have problems with it, then sure, get shield feedback, but I got omni vents. So that's it. That's all of the tech skills. Let's take a look at our inventory and look at the armor we're using. We are going with the Angaran Commando armor. So you can see you get more tech power damage, effect duration, and max shields on the helmet. On the body piece, we get 8% more tech power damage and tech effect duration, 10% more max shields, and very importantly, 20% more tech construct damage. That is super good. Now on the legs is pretty much the same as the arms, more tech power damage, a tech effect duration, and more max shields. Now, in terms of mods, I actually recommend this one for 50% more all-power recharge speeds. This is a super good mod to have. Now, in terms of weaponry, you can really go with whatever you like, but we actually like really high-tech stuff, an assault rifle and a pistol. So we have the sweeper, which as you can see has a really nice rate of fire, and it actually doesn't run out of ammo. It's burst fire, and it works on a recharge system, so it can overheat if you shoot it too much, but you never really have to worry about ammo. You sort of just come in, get your constructs out there, get everyone primed, use overload, detonate them, shoot them with your increased damage with your gun, and then say you might dash around some more and you've already got a full ammo clip again. Just no need to worry about ammo. Super simple, super high tech, looks really cool, as does our pistol, which is the equalizer. This one looks absolutely awesome and pretty much functions exactly the same. It's just a smaller version with a really high rate of fire, but a shorter range. Now, in terms of your squad mates, you can really get whoever you want, but I strongly recommend getting Vetra and Jarl as your main squad mates. I've found them to work really well with the loadouts that they use in terms of detonating and priming and all of that good stuff that you want to be going on. They also have really interesting conversations, but ultimately then with that logic, you could pick whichever squad mates you like to be around, but ultimately you will want to pick ones that you like because this is a very squad themed build. It's a whole team on your side, 6 as I said before, including yourself and your combat drone to be exact. And that's about everything for this build. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, if you're enjoying Mass Effect Andromeda and you're enjoying these builds, definitely subscribe to the channel because we have more Andromeda content on the way. Our social media links are in the description below if you happen to be interested. And with that all said and done, my name is Michael. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to nerding out with you all again very soon.